everyone and welcome back to Waverly Reads. Please excuse the lighting situation. There's a blizzard happening outside, literally, hang on. Can you see it? Not really, but I mean, I promise there's an actual blizzard going on right now. Like, what the hell? It's March and there's a blizzard happening outside. And it's very on and off as well. Like 5 minutes ago it was really sunny, like clear skies, and now it's a blizzard. If the lighting goes in and out, that is why. But as you can see, I am going to be doing a review on The Night Circus today. This is going to be a spoiler-free review on the book The Night Circus, which, before we get into it, can I just say, I absolutely loved. It's going to be difficult for me to try to explain the plot of The Night Circus just because explaining most of the plot spoils the entire book. But I'm going to try my best. So the book The Night Circus follows two characters, one named Celia and the other's name is Marco. These two characters are what are considered illusionists. It follows a circus that is only ever open at night, and it appears suddenly without warning, and it's there for however many nights. You don't know how long it's going to be there for, and then the next day it could be completely gone. Our main character Celia is an illusionist, which means that she can basically do things with her mind you would consider an illusion. Marco also has these powers, and when they were children, Marco and Celia were bound together by this game that Celia's father and Marco's adopted father were playing, and basically Celia and Marco are their chess pieces, and they're in this challenge and they have to build this night circus with their powers, and genuinely the circus is the arena, and Marco and Celia are basically rivals. They're fighting against each other. What else can I say about the plot? I don't know. I can't say anything else about the plot, but I don't know. I didn't do it justice anyway. I can never explain plots, but it's a really good book and most people have probably heard of it by now anyway, right? So let's put that there and let's get my notes. So the first thing that really stood out to me was the writing of the book. It is so beautiful. Every single word, it's so beautifully written, and I love the writing style. Not to mention there are a few chapters which are actually in second person point of view. I've never ever read a book that has second point of view in a chapter. I don't know what second point of view is. It's basically when an author writes, you do this and you do that, as in the reader. One thing I will say is I wasn't entirely sure when this book actually started, because it doesn't go by chapter numbers, it goes by dates and stuff. The sign says Hall of Mirrors, but when you enter you find it's no more than a simple hall. You are met not with the floor-length unadorned places of mirrored glass as you half expected, but hundreds of mirrors of varying shapes and sizes, each in a different frame. As you move past one mirror reflecting your boots, the mirror next to it shows only empty space and the mirrors on the other side. Your scarf is not present in one mirror and then it returns in the next. Reflected behind you there is a man in a bowler hat, though he appears in some mirrors and not in others. When you turn you cannot locate him in the room, though there are more patrons walking along with you than you had seen within the glass. The hall leads to a round room, the light within it bright as you enter. It radiates a tall lamppost that sits in the centre, towering black iron with frosted glass lamp that looks as though it had been more at home on a city street corner than a circus tent. The walls here are completely mirrored, each long mirror placed to align with the striped ceiling visible above the floor that is painted to match. As you walk further into the room, it becomes a field of endless street lamps, the stripes repeating in fractal patterns over and over and over. When have you ever read a book that like fully says you are doing something in it? It stood out to me so much and I loved it. Not to mention the story itself is just so unique. Like, I've never read anything like it before. It just stood out on like every single book I've ever read, and I honestly loved it so much. And I was constantly addicted. I didn't want to do anything else. I just wanted to keep reading and keep reading and keep reading. And every single time I wasn't reading, I just wanted to get home or get to a place where I could be reading. I read it every minute I could, on my bus to college, on my breaks at college, on my bus home, which I never really do read on my bus home because it's too quick, and by the time I get like halfway through a chapter I'm at home. But with this, and I read it so quickly as well. Like 5 minutes would have gone by and I would have read like 15 pages, and I usually read average a page a minute, so to read that quickly just blew my mind, and it's just so good. Not to mention there is a vast amount of characters in this book which you get to know deep in. You deeply get to know every single character in these books, and they're just all so cute. I mean, don't even get me started on the twins. I loved every single character. There wasn't a single character I hated. I disliked characters, but for the right reasons. Like, I loved that I disliked them, and I loved every character because they're so well thought through. Like, some of them are really shitty people, but they're a great character. One thing I really didn't like in the beginning was the fact that you are really confused throughout this book. For the first 200 pages, I was just like, am I ever going to understand this book? And the answer is no. But it dawned on me towards the end of the book that isn't that the point? Like, you go into a circus, you don't know half of what's actually going on. Like, you don't know the secrets behind the tricks, and I feel like not knowing what's going on in the book, just like the characters didn't know what was going on in the book because they had no idea about the game they were playing, it just adds to the illusion of being in a circus. And after thinking about it, I was just like, you know what, although that can be kind of annoying, I really do like it. That being said, this book isn't for all readers. If you don't like quite slow-paced books, then you won't like this because you don't find out basically anything until the last 100 pages, and I get that that can be frustrating to a lot of people. It was to me at first, until it dawned on me like that adds to the illusion of a circus. I know to a lot of people that might be a problem. Last thing I want to say, I know I can't talk about it, but I just want to say the ending. The fucking ending. I've only ever read one book that ends as good as that, and that is the Darren Shan saga. The way the last book ends, just the ending. I can't. It was so good. I rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars on my Goodreads, and it made my favourites category, and I'm still debating whether to put it in my all-time favourites because it's been a few days and I'm still just thinking about this freaking book. I don't want to ever forget about it. It's so, so good. But anyway, that was my review of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below any suggestions for books that you would like me to review in the future, or any points that I should probably add into my reviews, as I am still pretty new at this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next week. Bye!